All right, welcome back to the Real Music Observer. This is Dave doing the observing. That's what I do. I do the observing. I'm in the car, and we're, of course, observing real music in real time for real people, much like you right there and me, okay? So, somebody sent me a message saying that Neal Schon basically said that he wants, or he just wishes that Jonathan Cain would just go away. Okay. So, let me give you my theory on this situation. This is a democracy. This is what I'm getting. This is not a dictatorship, meaning that the way Journey, as far as a band, is supposed to function is that they probably all vote on stuff. Somebody comes up with an idea, they vote on it. Somebody wants to bring a new member into the band, they vote on it. Now, I think that's the way it works. I don't think, as he keeps trying to emphasize over on Twitter, that Neal has the keys, okay? I think he may have a key, but I think there are 5 keys, and each key is important. Each person has equal say in this situation. By the way, in the background, I don't know if you can hear it. Night Flight Orchestra, band I did a video on that nobody watched about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Still listening to it. Insanely good stuff. Check it out. I wanted to sneak that into this video so you would understand that I do actually talk about music, and I like some new music. It's a band from like Sweden or Norway. Just check it out. Google it. Listen to it. They put all the 70s and 80s elements together. They worship Foreigner and Toto and bands like those guys. And I love it. All right, so I snuck it in there. So let's get back to the issue at hand, though, and that's the fact that Neal Schon wants John Cain to just go away. You know what? I did a video yesterday saying that I wish Neal Schon would go away. And the person who sent me the message also told me, I think the guy's going crazy or insane, or he's just losing it. I think losing it is the proper way to look at it. They have a show today. They must be in show prep or something right now, or getting ready for it. It's on the East Coast. They go on second after Earth, Wind, and Fire, and EWF really should be headlining this, because Fleetwood Mac sounds tired. Lindsey Buckingham does not at all sound like he used to sound. It's just, you know, if you're there for Stevie Nicks and her spinning around and wearing all those mystical things that she likes to wear, garb, that's cool. I would go basically just to see Christine McVie, because she's just amazing, even at her age. I love her. But let me get back to the subject here. I think this is a democracy, and that does not bode well for Mr. Neal. And that's why Mr. Neal is trying to get people on his side saying, look, you know, John Cain's a troublemaker. Just go and see Jonathan Cain on Twitter. He's promoting his new album. He's saying thank you to fans. He puts out little memes about, oh, we rocked this place last night. Thank you for being there. And if somebody tweets something nice to him, he'll retweet it and thank you so much. Humble, blah, blah, blah. But yet, him and his wife too, we'll throw her in there, again, throw her under the bus. They're Satan incarnate, you know, and we have to keep promoting that they're the ones causing all the problems. No, John's showing up for all the gigs. He's playing his role well. In fact, this is why I think this is a democracy, and it doesn't bode well for Neal Schon. Because this mystery keyboard player that I uncovered a couple weeks ago, which for hardcore Journey fans, it was common knowledge that this guy Thibodeau, Travis Thibodeau, was brought in by John Cain, and he's there to sing a couple of songs. He's singing Note to John Cain and the rest of the band. If you've got somebody actually doing lead vocals on songs, okay, and he's doing, I believe, like Mother, Father and a couple other tunes, couple of deeper tracks. You know what? You really should put him on the website where it says band members. He should get billing. All right, and I went through the Chicago thing last time. I talked about that, how Chicago puts all of their more minor players on their website because they're important, because they're going to be out there playing percussion or playing saxophone or whatever they're doing. They are listed as band members. So this dude should have been put on the roster. Okay, so tangent there, sorry. Getting back to the democracy thing, Jonathan Cain has a key. So if Neal is saying go away, then he's more or less just trying to say, look, if you go away, then I can control this. If you go away, because I don't want you around anymore. And who's to say the band doesn't get together and say, hey, Neal, I know you're the founding guitarist. Look at what happened to Danny Seraphin in Chicago, the drummer. Okay? He was a founding member, and he made a lot of decisions. He was a decision maker in the band Chicago. But at a certain point, now it's different. Neal hasn't lost his playing ability. Danny at the time was having difficulty sort of adapting to the newer technology, and the band tried to coach and help him, and even after that he couldn't cut it. He was missing practices and so forth, according to what has been said. And so Chicago said bye-bye. But I would say if you're a toxic person and you're constantly sowing discord with other members in your band based on things that really are trivial, you know, oh, I've been trying to protect this band. I don't know how they could go to the White House. Really, you don't know how they could go to the White House for a VIP tour? You know, does the president or the owner of a sports team, do they prevent them from going to the White House? They're trying to protect the band. It's an honor to go there, regardless of who the occupant is. You may not like the current occupant. You may not have liked the last occupant. The thing is, going to the White House is an American tradition, okay? So making that like this cornerstone issue as to why you're trying to protect the band, and I told them not to do it, and management. You know what? Irving Azoff is a genius, okay? And I think if this was not supposed to happen, he would have wrote it in the contract, like I said before. All right? So if this is a democracy, then guess who can be voted off the island? Schon can be voted off the island, okay? Anybody can be voted off the island. If Arnell is pissed, and he seems to be, and John is going to say, look, the dude just keeps coming at me, and I'm like doing my job, showing up, I'm hiring people, I'm probably writing new music as we speak, and this is the thing about John Cain, is he's got no one to write songs with right now. And that means the creative spark and energy in the band Journey is at a much lower level. He had Steve Perry back in the day, and those two had great chemistry. Neal and John, I don't think write songs together. I don't think they have, and they may have written songs together, but they're not writing songs right now because of this whole conflict. Steve Smith doesn't typically write songs. Ross Valerie typically doesn't write songs, and we know Arnell doesn't write songs. So, why don't we bring someone into the band who could help write songs? First person that comes to mind, of course, is Steve Perry. Everybody will be happy I said the words Steve and Perry in this video. Yes, even though I think Steve would probably abstain from joining Journey, if I were Jonathan Cain, I'd say, hey, you want to write some songs? You don't have to be in the band, but do you want to write songs? And start there, okay? The next step would be, is Arnell staying, or is he leaving, or is he going solo? And if he's going solo, is he coming back? And does he want to go back home? Does he want the pressure of trying to live up to Steve Perry? Because it's really not going well for Arnell, and everybody has to admit that, including Arnell, by the way. So it would be up to Arnell to say, hey, I think I tried, this didn't work. You know, it worked for a while, but now it's time to move on, and good luck, guys. You know, he's made his little fortune. Hopefully the band will take care of him for years to come, or I don't know how they'd arrange that, but something's got to just work out where he can sort of gracefully bow out and save face in the process. He's a good guy. And Ross Valerie, founding member. Hey, Ross, step up, buddy. I know you don't want to get in this conflict. I know, you went bankrupt or whatever in 1990. I think you just want the cash flow. I'm pretty sure that's where you're coming from. You're a smart guy. You've kind of kept out of all this stuff. But this new drama, you obviously went to the White House too, so either you thought it was okay yourself and you were trying to stick your middle finger in somebody's eye, or you just didn't give it much thought, or maybe you can be part of this democracy that says enough is enough. But that's the breaking news today. Neal Schon basically saying that Jonathan Cain should just go away, or I wish he would just go away. And this is a guy who's really not doing anything that crazy. I mean, I guess if you live in this little bubble where you look at what John Cain did as some sort of the White House thing I'm thinking of, and then everything else, getting married to this woman who a bunch of people apparently hate and loathe, okay, which is stupid and silly because you could easily hate and loathe Neal Schon's wife too. I mean, it's how people react to certain people and what they do in their life and who they are. Eventually you just have to let it go and try to coexist. As that stupid bumper sticker says, try to coexist. It might actually work. But for now, I think Journey is a democracy, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the days ahead, because after tonight, they're done, and they might be done for quite a while. I'm Dave, and this is the Real Music Observer. We're observing, and today I do not have. I was going to show you a picture of a Diet Coke, or the bottle, but I do not have one. So, no product placement today. But we'll talk again very soon.